afternoon, everybody. My name is Antonino Garcia, and the topic that I want to discuss is urban sprawl. As a future urban planning student at KU, I have taken the time and ample research to understand the consequences of urban sprawl. So the definition of urban sprawl is the uncontrollable expansion of land use. So quote unquote uncontrollable. For instance, how much time do you think you spend in your car? Anybody?
An hour.
About an hour? Yes, you?
An hour, 2 hours.
An hour, 2 hours?
I'd say it's close to an hour a day.
Good hour, about half an hour, back and forth. So this is because of urban sprawl. We have gone away from the cities and gone to other communities, and we now work further than ever have back in, if you compare it to the 50s and 60s and 70s and so on and so forth. Well, according to David Takayoshi Suzuki, he's an environmental activist, has stated that for every hour that you spend daily in your car, adds up to about 9 weeks of working hours a year. And that's a long time if you really think about it. That's a lot of time that's taken away from you to spend time and do free activities with your family, so on and so forth. Another consequence is that urban sprawl has biodiversity. The University of Nebraska Geological Survey team has said changing land use and cover introduces new barriers and corridors for animal movements. Basically, what we're doing is every time we're sprawling out from the city, making new developments into farms, encroaching on new farms and encroaching in the forest, we're changing biodiversities, we're changing ecosystems, we're forcing other species to move from their biodiversity area. And what happens is when they move from that area to another ecosystem, that ecosystem, they can be invasive, an invasive species, which means if they're invasive to another ecosystem, it can be extinction for another species. And by doing that, we're forcing animals and species out into other environments, causing extinction without even knowing it. New roadways, new housing blocks, migratory movements, they're all the reasons why we have invasive species in areas that are not supposed to be there, causing extinction. So uncontrolled urban sprawl is morally and ethically wrong when you think about it. It also has spiked increase in racial and economic disparity. Okay. An article in the San Francisco Gate newspaper titled "Negative Effects of Urban Sprawl, a nation that prides ourselves of being diverse, urban sprawl enables racial and economic disparity." Now you're asking yourself, how does that happen? Well, what happens is certain races go ahead and just move out of one community in pursuit of their dreams in another better suburban paradise, as you would say. So everybody dreams about that 3,000 square foot house on top of 15 acres with a swimming pool and no neighbor in sight. Would you agree? A lot of people like that type of privacy. And urban sprawl has allowed a lot of people to do that. Well, what happens is, if we keep moving from one community to another, we're not fixing our existing communities, the issues with those communities. We're just getting up, moving, taking our tax dollars with us, and in pursuit of our dreams for a better community without fixing exactly what's going on in our existing communities. Our generations now, us, and our generations for the future can make a change. And the kind of change that I'm talking about is get involved, right? In the community that you live in now, read the local newspaper, see what's going on in your community, new developments, so on and so forth, new roadways, new malls. You'll get involved into your community. Listen to the radio station, right? Once you get involved, you can't get involved unless you're educated about what's going on in your community. Some other ways to get involved in your community: once you get educated what's going on, attend those town hall meetings. Call your city planning department. Let them know. Let your voice be heard. Let your ideas be heard. Rather than just picking up from one community going to another. You're not solving any issues by doing that. It's a cycle. You pick up from one community, move to another, you leave the poorest people behind, you take your tax dollars with you, And then they end up gentrifying the old area anyway, trying to bring back the middle wage class working men into the area. You're not gonna get around the situation where you have poor people, people with less income. There's always gonna be that disparity in between, but there is better ways to work around it and have a better community itself. A big one is having boundaries, urban planning boundaries. So just like Portland, Oregon, they actually have it up to 20 years where you can't exceed urban development past a certain boundary, which slows down the urban developments into rural lands, into farmland, into the forest, so on and so forth. Right? So what it does, it forces the people in that community to work out the situations and the complex issues in their existing community, rather than just getting up and leaving. Right? Will that make sense? So get your voices heard, get out there. Go to your town hall meeting, talk to your city mayor, talk to the city manager. Let them know what's on your mind. If you see something wrong, they won't know unless you go out and tell them. The freedom of choice is basically what makes us feel like we live in a free country. We pride ourselves as a nation of diversity, but are we really embracing it? Do we really respect biodiversities, ecosystems that live in harmony, or do we just care about ourselves? Is a question that we should be asking. Urban sprawl has been leading to more car maintenance, pollution, and less time for ourselves. Communities, while taking our tax dollars elsewhere, we are actually maybe living up to the definition of community, but are we actually living it up? Are we embracing diversity, or are we separating ourselves even further racially and economically? So I urge you to get out there and let everybody know, hey, this is my community. Take pride in the community that you live in now. Let your voices be heard. Go out there and tell the city planning department, I don't like that roadway. I don't like that new road. It encroaches in everything. It's not right. It's not good. Try to stop urban sprawl and fix our existing issues at the moment. And that's all I got for you.